Our Adult Day program has two major goals. One is to care for that client and give them a safe and stimulating environment where they could have successful experiences and socialization. And the second goal, equally important, is to help their caregiver with giving them some much needed respite to take care of themselves instead of constantly caring for that loved one.
The program is structured the way that we implement everything that we know is helpful for people who has any memory problems or cognitive loss or other diagnosis of dementia. The program includes activities or exercises that help us to stimulate the centers responsible for memory in our brain, the centers that are responsible for visual spatial abilities, some other centers that help us to develop fine motor skills. And all of this together we combine together with the physical exercise program. And at this standpoint of modern medicine, we do know that this combined and complex approach to the patient with any kind of memory loss is the most beneficial way that help us to prevent further progression of this decline of the memory or cognitive function.
It's an experience that leaves a lasting positive emotional memory, so that when they go home, any stress and anxiety is relieved, and so that they have a wonderful experience into the evening with their loved ones.
I needed some type of a break, and I knew that something that would be just a few hours would be good, give me time off, get something done, and then pick him up and we could continue our day together. So I decided to try the adult daycare, see how he would do. And much to my surprise, he did very well.
It's kind of like, for a lack of a better word, a hug, because the entire experience allows you to just feel safe and warm, and it embodies what we represent as Masonicare. And what I mean by that is the staff that is helping to care for our Adult Day program members are also staff that care for the residents that live here. So it's welcoming them into, it's a whole family.
And it really is a big relief to know he's in a safe place and I can relax. So to me it was a blessing.
We have a huge range of activities. We try to seasonally design activities. We have arts and crafts. We do exercise. Exercise is very important, so we try to do that every single day. We do trivia. We'll do audiovisual presentations, historic presentations. We do cooking demos as well as cooking a meal together as a family in a family style. Walks outside, gardening when the weather's appropriate. So we try to bridge the gap by getting to know each person for who they are, what they like, what's important to them, and then we represent that through our calendar and programming for each individual person, and then make it involved in the group.
He seems very comfortable, and I feel like he's safe, and I can take a deep breath and go do something else. So it's good for him and it's good for me. And it's good for our kids because they know that he's safe and then I'm getting some downtime.
We have amazing staff, and that includes the program director, also the recreational supervisors, and extends toward the nursing staff and supportive staff who are not only professionally trained to work with a patient with dementia, but also amazingly dedicated to this place and very passionate about that.
We do this wonderful training called a reflections training, which is specific to learning about dementia and related Alzheimer's disease. And so each of the staff goes through this training. And what we do is we touch upon the knowledge that is essential to know about the disease process and what's happening, but more importantly, communication techniques and person-centered care, and all of these things that help to create a very well-rounded and educated caregiver.
We are open 7 days a week. Typically the hours run 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. but we're very flexible, and that can be tailored around the needs of the individual.
What we suggest, and what I suggest, is that a person join for at least 1 to 2 half days. It's a really great starting point to get used to going into the program and feeling what it's going to feel like, because there's a transitional phase for everybody. But most people start with 2 half days and move to full days. There are people who come 7 days a week. There are people who come 4 days a week. It's whatever the need of the family is, and that can grow and fluctuate and change.
I tell everyone that, try it. It may not work for you, but I didn't think it was going to work for me either, and it did. So it's worth trying it, because you need to do something, because sooner or later you're going to burn out.
It really is a gift for me to get to know these people, and for their families to say, we'll share our loved ones with you, and we'll share this experience.